I'll tell you what's not small talk. Your body count, how much you weigh, your BMI. I'm sitting in front of you. Do you find me attractive or not? Like...
Have you ever wondered, am I the Welcome to Who's the a Grindr podcast where every week I get a guest in the hot seat and we go deep, talking dating, sex, and the decisions that keep you up at night. Then we take your calls so we can figure out whose is really on the line. I'm your host, Katya, and nothing gets past me, so pucker up, buckle up, and let's ride this thing till the wheels fall off. This actress is on fire. She completely sold out her entire 8-week limited run as Mary Todd Lincoln in Broadway's Oh, Mary, broke box office records for Broadway's Chicago. Now she's returning to Oh, Mary for a 4-week limited run this January, taking on the role of Judy Garland, releasing her first live album, Jinkx Monsoon, live at Carnegie Hall. Please welcome the busiest woman in show business to Who's Jinkx Monsoon!
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you.
It's so nice that we get to see each other once a year and catch up on camera.
You're the queen of queens.
Yeah.
And wait, listen, I was on a boat and you were doing your show on a boat.
Right.
With major scales way back when.
Remember that boat we used to travel around on?
It was a dinghy. No. And I remember turning to Trixie and saying, she's the most talented Drag Race girl.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. I think it's all very subjective.
No, I think it's factual.
Well,
I think it's black and white.
I like what I've been getting to do lately because it's what I've always wanted to do. But I do think it's all very subjective because, like, no superhero has all the superpowers. That
Captain
would be
Marvel.
really... Well, but also still.
But she's just busy. That's her only weakness. That's yours, too.
But I'm really proud to be part of this tapestry of us right now. Like, those of us from the Drag Race franchise who have found ways to, like, have vivid careers in the entertainment industry in and out of drag. I'm excited that drag is mainstream in many ways and that you can see kimchi in a CVS. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
appearing live.
She has the courage to go inside the CVS now. She would never step foot in a pharmacy.
No, I mean,
I
you can see her makeup on
and her books on the shelves at Barnes & Noble.
And you and Trixie goes without saying.
Yeah.
Like, you're a part
of
our
market.
Culture, right?
Yeah.
The point is, we've all found a lot of ways to have careers, and it's not all the same. I mean, like, some of us have some overlap, but there's room for everyone. And the big thing that I'm happy about in this era, we were being convinced back then
that we were goblins.
There was no way that there was enough room for all of us, and we all need to go do as much right now because the bubble's going to pop, and you're all so lucky to have this gig, and tomorrow no one's going to care about you. We said, okay, but what? And we all kind of just branched away from that and took the reins of our own lives, and look at us now.
I do remember that time where it was very much like a get it now while it's hot. Otherwise, tomorrow we're going to take you out back and shoot you like a lame horse.
And there's only one good job, and everyone wants it. And then it's like, okay, well, there's that role gone for the year, and it went to her. And so I guess we'll all take the scraps because she's the one who got the one job. Before we get too much deeper, I thought you would like this.
Oh my God. That's perfect.
This read as
that's great.
Do you think I could get away with this for meet and greets?
Absolutely.
If I didn't want to do my makeup.
Now, for our vision impaired audience or those paying attention while they drive on the 405 or the 110 or the 2, Jinkx is modeling a beautiful silk scarf that has her likeness on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Who designed that?
Patrick Church.
Good for him.
It was our collab this year. I'm wearing the matching dress.
Collab. So collab is a word that's used to describe having sex on camera. Would you be opposed to doing that?
I think my window for having sex on camera, it has closed until it's like a big deal. You have to pay the ticket price, just like Rochelle, one woman's erotic journey from Milan to Minsk. Like, that's the next time I'm going to consider. Rochelle.
That's a great. I can see you in that role, like maybe in the red light district of Amsterdam. Okay, wait. Do these words describe you? Yes or no? Trans femme, sober, narcoleptic.
Yes.
Great.
All three.
Okay.
Yes. I feel weird saying just sober. I always qualify it like I'm sober from alcohol.
Yeah, I'm sober, but I smoke crack on the weekends.
Yeah. I never really developed a taste for anything too hardcore.
Were you a big drinker?
I was a huge drinker.
Ugh.
You were there.
I know, but you were always weird, so I never figured.
I'm always weird.
And you're
That's
loud.
the thing is everyone thinks like, oh, she's so stoned. She's so stoned. I could be sober as a judge.
Yeah.
And
You'd be
I'd
screaming
act
show tunes.
all it takes is the right thing to catch my interest, and then it's on, baby.
And then it's off. Because I've literally seen you scream at the top of your lungs, and then 2 minutes later, you're face down on the floor of the airport.
Yeah. I will say I'm on a fistful of medication for multiple things, and a lot of my up and down symptoms that we're describing have leveled out a little bit.
That's great.
But it's still all there. It's very manageable now.
That's great.
And a lot of my mood stabilizers have helped with the narcolepsy because it was triggered by stress. And now that I don't get stressed in the same way that I was when I, every incident meant the world was going to end, when I was just wound like a blood sausage.
Wound like a blood sausage. Oh.
I know you don't wind those, but...
No, maybe you roll them up or something. Okay, so you have an actual theater degree, a BFA. You trained for this. When you were in school learning technique and doing scene work, did you have any idea you'd end up where you are right now? Like, what were your goals do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I mean...
You're like, I'm going to do Sunset Boulevard. I'm going to be what did you...
Well, basically, I am doing exactly what I wanted to do. Not just since college, since childhood.
That is so...
And I don't take a moment of it for granted. You know how those tour days, it's just like, why am I doing this?
Oh, yeah.
This is torture. And then I'll meet someone that night who had a really profound experience with something I did. And it just reminds me, I'm living the dream I set out for myself that multiple times I had given up on. Yeah. And I'm doing it as a woman when I thought it wasn't going to be possible for me to have both dreams, right? And even though there were trans performers before me, the scarcity issue we were talking about really scared me. I was really like, what if I'm not the right type of trans person? And then they don't want to cast me because I'm not the type of trans person they're looking for, right? So there's just so much baggage I had to unpack before I was even ready. But now that I'm here, I'm like, I feel so grateful to finally be here and to be able to look back on the years and years of work that it took to get here. It helps me appreciate it. If it had all just happened accidentally overnight, I wouldn't be the grounded, grateful person I am right now.
Yeah, I mean, not to get cheesy, but it's pretty inspiring to see you from your season 5 of Drag Race to starring in the best-selling run of the funniest show on Earth. You know what I mean? And it's it is the funniest show on the planet Earth.
And it was created by one of us. It's very much authenticity winning at a time when objective truth is under attack.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying and thrilling to be an artist right now.
Yeah.
Because artists are amongst the few public personas actually telling the truth.
Yeah, and the freaks have found themselves.
We are stepping out of the shadows and doing it ourselves. We're writing these plays for us to star in.
Yeah.
We're writing this music for us to record, and we're the ones wearing the hair and outfits. And I think it's wonderful. And that doesn't mean that the straight women who are doing drag or the straight men or the cis people who are doing drag.
No, they're invalid.
Or who have had their gender affirmation surgeries. No, it doesn't mean that they can't have it. It's literally look, there was room for all of us the whole time.
The whole time?
Hari, Neff, and I are both working at the same time. We're both redheads. Hunter Schafer and then Mason Alexander Park and I are like playing the same role in different parts of the world. There's room.
There's room.
There's always been room. And it took our audiences saying, like, stop giving us the whitewashed, straight, cis, heteronormative version of the story.
Yeah.
And give us the story.
Yeah. Or previously there was, you could have dead hooker number 1 or dead hooker number 3.
Yeah. And you came in and you delivered the kind of formulaic speech and then... And then, goodbye, queer person.
Totally. As the wise bottom once said, opinions are like everyone's got one, and I want to know about yours. That is disgusting.
Who said that? Was that Bianca? Stop. Can you imagine?
No. Those chicken legs? That big head and those chicken legs on top of you? Ooh.
I'd let her just...
Let her do what?
Me.
But she would be like criticizing your hemline the whole time and like trying to like...
I wanna live through that experience. I want to be one of the ones.
Climbing K2. It's like getting by Bianca. Can you survive
I want that story.
Oh, what do you think she sounds like when she...
Ah! Okay.
Like Oscar the
Were
Grouch.
you asking a real question?
Oh, yeah. Telling someone you're 5 minutes away when you're still in the shower. Yeah, totally.
Why is your time more valuable than mine that you get to lie to me?
Yeah, why are you lying?
Like, because you're fine with me just sitting around with my thumb up my butt.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you want to expect that from someone, you got to be on time too.
What is late to you? Because when I moved to LA, it was everything changed.
I think depending on the city, like 5 or 10 minutes is to be expected. Anything past that, like if you're saying you're 5 minutes away when you're getting into the shower, you're
Yeah. I grew up with this hammered into my mind, half an hour early rather than 5 minutes late.
And I know this because I used to be one of those people. Like I'm on my way and I'm still like there's no way I'm on my way.
You technically are on your way.
And then when I would get there and the unspoken tension was so extreme that I'm like, I just don't want to be this person anymore. So that's why I'm saying from being yes.
From the mouth of okay.
Thank you.
Telling a friend that their ex downgraded and meaning it as a comfort. Like, oh, thank God he was such a piece of once they've broken up.
Oh, right. I gotta go with because it's like, why didn't you tell me I was dating a piece of All my good friends have always told me when my boyfriend's a piece of I didn't give a
And did you take their advice?
I dated him until I agreed with them.
Okay.
And then when I agreed, I was like, whoosh, I should have realized this sooner. They all tried to warn me. But I've got good friends.
Saying we should get drinks sometime to someone you have no intention of getting drinks with.
No, not. That's like, we
lying.
have to go back in time to try to fix that problem. I don't personally do that, but if someone did that to me, I'd get it, right?
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do now, though, is I don't drink. Like, just say that really quick, and then they're like, we should get coffee. I don't actually drink coffee. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to see you.
Okay, dating an actor and never fully knowing if they're being genuine or just performing intimacy well.
The actor would be the in that situation. Yeah, I don't think you should act.
Don't ever date an actor.
I mean, like...
Would you date an actor?
Yeah, because I can empathize. But here's the thing is, I think what I'd date is a multi-hyphenate like me. Okay. Someone who's had to hustle.
Okay.
When you have only ever just been an actor, it's a completely different life. I talk about like, when I was doing bar gigs, and what would that be like? I'm like, well, let me tell you. Yeah. 4 people disinterested in what you're doing. Yeah. And there were cockroaches on your makeup station.
Yeah, you made $20. Yeah.
And you made $20 that night, and you thought, I'm doing it, Mom.
I'm living my dream.
Take that, Mom.
Oh, what about going to someone's show and leaving at intermission?
Yeah.
Really?
Have you done that?
Yeah.
I have stayed through some really bad shows because I think I owe it to my friend.
Whose show was it?
We're both talking about each other right now. No, I'm teasing listeners at home. I look straight into the camera so you can know I was doing a Carol Burnett thing.
All right. Dating someone less successful than you because the power dynamic is easier.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I think if you're going into a relationship to lord something over someone that's already
The manipulative sociopathy.
Yeah.
Telling someone they look healthy after you haven't seen them in a while. I hate that.
Until everyone is clear on how to positively comment on someone's appearance, I'm abstaining from talking about
it's so
one's
great
appearance.
To see you.
You know, like, as someone whose body's changed multiple times through the years, I've heard genuine, like, you look great. And I feel like this person is seeing that I feel good about myself and is saying, I look great.
Yeah.
And then I've heard the compliments that I'm like, wow, what did you think I looked like before?
Yeah. Because this could mean a lot of things. For me, it would be like, oh, so I used to look like a crack and now I'm fat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair.
Different culture. Oh, God. Well, I mean, one time,
on paper,
one of our sisters, this I appreciate a lot. We were on a road tour. I went up to the baggage claim and she saw me and she said, oh my God, you look awful. Because I did look really bad. And I kind of appreciated that.
It wasn't a friend who did that to me. I was traveling abroad, no idea what country I was in, but the person was looking at my passport that was like 4 years old. And this was me at my like most drunk, least healthy, like I did not like myself. And so I was not taking care of myself and it showed.
Sure.
No friends were commenting on it directly. They were finding sensitive, compassionate ways to talk about it. And I was getting the hints, right? But then this person at the airport goes, this is you? And I said, yeah. And then they're like really holding it close to my face. And then they went, tough life. And
That's a wake-up call.
And it really was one of the first moments where I looked at the picture and then I looked at myself. Because when you're in the haze of it all, it's hard to perceive yourself accurately.
Sure.
And I had to have a long, hard talk with myself of like, what don't I like and what do I have the power to do something about? And, you know, eventually quitting drinking was the quickest, easiest way to improve my appearance because I looked like what I was, a high-functioning, sad alcoholic.
Sleeping with a castmate and pretending it's not going to make things weird. Well, first of all,
I succeeded.
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't have to be weird.
I think if both parties are ethical and they practice what they preach, it's possible.
Do you consider yourself an ethical
I've been using the term for a while, but I believe that I deserve to use the term now because I've really done the work.
You've done the work. Ran through.
And I've listened to people telling me like, oh, actually. And now I feel like sex is better because I don't have any of those anxieties of like, how did we end up here? And do they even want me?
Would you consider yourself tore down and ran through?
No. I've had my years.
Numbers-wise, ballpark figures, a month of how many different partners would that involve? Say a week.
Oh, me at maximum would be like 4 guys in a week, probably.
More than one at a time?
I have rarely, very rarely hooked up with 2 completely separate guys on the same day, but I also was completely transparent. Like,
I'm double
just so you know.
Just so you know.
I felt so guilty about even considering that's why I had to be transparent about it, because the guilt would have eaten me alive. Because I would have felt like, am I doing something unethical by letting this man have sloppy seconds and not telling him that it's sloppy seconds, right? And then a friend of mine was just like, oh, I do that all the time. Oh, you're worried about that? I'll do 3, 4. And I'm like, okay, so this is like a to each their own kind of thing. Is in the eye of the beholder. So again, I think it's like, if everyone included is
on the level,
then do whatever you want. For me, I have my like thermometer of when I'm like, ooh, we're getting to the top here, people.
Fourth guy comes in, you're like, fill her up. There we go. Okay. Performing a song about an ex while their new partner is in the audience or while your new partner is in the audience.
I mean, it's like, did you know your new partner was going to be in the audience?
Wouldn't you change it?
And you didn't?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a context thing, but it sounds pretty to me.
Also, I feel like if you're writing songs about particular people, make it vague, make it universal.
You're allowed to tell it, but also don't use
gonna live
the
forever,
privilege
too.
of your notoriety to just like
weaponizing your fame.
Yeah.
Sleeping with someone because you wanted to know if the rumors were true. The rumors were true. She's having a baby.
I don't think that's a thing because that's how a lot of guys have hit on me.
Oh.
On multiple occasions, in multiple countries, strangers have hit me up on Grindr saying, I heard you give the best. Like they heard through the grapevine from the last guy I.
This is serious.
This has happened like at least 6 times. And I started to feel really good about my game then because I was like objectively, like statistically.
You are the
And
goat.
these aren't people I've before. These are people coming, seeking me out because the legends.
The throat goat right here.
I was very flattered and not always, but there's been a couple times I'm like, yeah, come on over.
Try it out.
People are talking about it around the world.
Global throat goat and Broadway star Jinkx Monsoon. We'll be back with more.
I think one and the same. I think, how do you think the throat's so capable to do?
Now it's all coming together.
It's a muscle, baby.
All right. Encouraging a hookup to brush their teeth. Because listen, I dated a guy, he told me I smelled like once and I broke up with him minutes later. But I'll never forget it. So how do you tell someone gently, politely, but firmly and unequivocally that they smell like
not an thing. I think people have politely told me.
How did they do it? Run me through it.
Hey, I don't want to, I'm still having a nice time, but would you maybe consider, brushing your teeth before we keep going?
And then I'm devastated. I'm crying.
Not to pass judgment, but I also want to be really into this. But I have been with people who have had rancid breath, and I'm not noticing until we're and it's it's
too
all
late.
of a sudden it's too late.
Yeah, you can't
And right. And so I just gently steer the conversation elsewhere.
You just cover their mouth with
You
your
know what I
hand.
mean? This is what I would actually do. I'm going to go brush my teeth. Want to join me?
That's it. Or not, telling people that the understudy in a performance was better.
That's a did you ask? Did the person ask? That sounds like you'd have to volunteer that information because I could never imagine me asking. And what, you saw the show twice just to...
I just wanted to make sure that a person sucked. Yeah. Asking someone how they're doing but walking away before they finish it. I love that. How are you?
But okay, this is something everyone needs to learn. Let's say you and I are catching up and I go, Katya, have you been? And then you sit there and tell me your life story since the last time I saw you. And I listen and I reflect and I relay and I'm an active listener. And then you say, how are you doing, Jinkx? And I go, well, and then you look at your phone. Or bolt. Because I know some people can text and...
No.
But then sometimes I see them scrolling Instagram and I'm like, is my story of meeting David Hyde Pierce not interesting enough for you?
You have to buy panties on Amazon right now?
Yeah, you're in the middle of telling your sob story and they're like...
and they try to interrupt you with a meme.
Definitely. And I add looking at turning to your phone while someone starts telling you, that's the same as walking away.
Yeah. No, as a person who you meet a lot of people, you meet a lot of people but don't remember their names. Mm-hmm. What is your strategy towards that kind of greeting of you've clearly met this person before?
I usually do all the pet names until
darling, honey.
Then I have to, because I'm cognizant of what I'm doing, and I don't want that person. What if that person knows that's what I'm doing? So then everyone has to be honey darling that whole night. I can't call anyone by their name. But what I like to do, because I don't want to hurt that person's feelings in case they know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. So, another good thing is grab someone whose name you absolutely know and introduce them to the person.
That's exactly what I do.
Act like you're about to introduce the next person, but do it so slowly that they jump in.
I can't wait to tell them their name, yeah.
But it's a two-way street. You know, like how many times have I met a celebrity who just cannot register that we've met before, and I have that grace for them. So it's like you got to have grace for yourself and for other people. All of these or not things, it's like you can say it, then you better stop doing it.
There you go. Okay, so now we're going to transition.
Not your word. You have to retire using that word from now on.
We're going to switch gears.
What are you saying? You're saying my genitals are just gears that you can crank into different...
Do you know that mechanics... Oh, I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it.
But I missed you.
Now that we're loose, it's time to go deeper. We set up a voicemail line for Grindr users to confess their situations and ask us who's People have been calling, people have been sharing. Some of you have been busy, so let's open wide and take a look. Phone. Magic.
It's really hot.
Rotary.
Hi, my name is Adam. I promise that's relevant to the story. I was studying abroad in London and went to go hook up with this guy I met on Grindr. And I took a really long tube ride, and when I got off, he was waiting for me, and he, of course, did not look anything like his photos, and lived like a mad long walk from the station. And we were walking together, and he was like, I'm going to get us some snacks. You want some snacks? And I said, sure. So he went in, and he kept trying to push popsicles on me, and I was like, well, no, it's November, but he wants them anyway. And then we were walking back, and he was like, have a popsicle, and I was like, no, I'm all good. And he was like, well, consider it an audition. And I was like, okay. And then we went back to his absolutely smelled like in there, and we started hooking up on the couch, and he was like, let me move things to the bedroom. And we had sex in his bedroom, and then after we were done, he was like, oh, that was so hot. I've always wanted to have sex in my brother Adam's bed.
Wow.
Everything about this.
A to B to C to D to E was just bad.
From the moment you got off the tube station, all of it was really uncomfortable. And
so he's a liar.
Sorry, Adam.
He's a manipulator. He's setting
Adam.
traps. A pusher.
Remember when I was talking about how I've learned to identify when I do not need to make myself uncomfortable for the sake of being polite, right?
Absolutely.
And
that's a huge skill, by the way.
I learned that from having a hookup, not like this in every aspect, but I showed up and everything about the hookup was so upsetting that I was like, the only reason I kept going is because I felt impolite, but this guy really lured me into a really upsetting situation. And why don't my feelings matter in this moment? I'm so worried about hurting his feelings that I'm making my feelings mean nothing.
I recently we were in Minnesota. We were somewhere very cold. And I took a 10-minute Uber to this guy's house. There were two guys there. They looked very attractive from the photos. I got in there. It was clearly a crack den. And I pulled my pants down. But there was no way I was going to get I just left.
Yeah.
I pulled my pants back up and said, I got to go.
I had one where I went through with everything and here's what I'll say. I don't need to give you details of what happened. I just need to say he was a DL guy and...
He did not do the...
No, It wasn't that I got paid.
I hate that expression.
Yeah. The whole concept of down low and I gotta sneak in and make sure we're not seen
doing Pink
and
Panther?
blah, 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 blah. There were times when it was really fun and I was like, it was like, I'm so sexy that even straight men want to me, right? That kind of weird affirmation that is based in conditioning, not in anything worthy of our time. So I put myself through this and I'm like, wait a second, I'm doing this so that this guy who doesn't even have enough courage to live as a queer person at this time, I'm catering to someone's discomfort.
You feel like you're enabling them in a way.
Exactly. And I'm like, I can't participate in that behavior anymore. And it was a big part of why I'm like, no DL guys, even though sometimes there's like a guy who's so hot that I would compromise my values for. And I just can't do that anymore because it makes me feel like too much afterwards, you know?
Well, that's admirable. My main gripe with DL guys is that they don't.
And there is that.
All right, let's check the messages again.
Yeah, let's do another one.
Haul out the phone.
Sorry, Adam, did we answer? He was
Yeah, you deserve better, Adam.
So this one time, I was hooking up with this guy, and we were and I like flipped him over to get him into like doggy style. And I was kind of taken aback by a tattoo on his back that I hadn't seen before of this kind of like pinup woman looking woman. But it was like hyper realistic. It was kind of strange, really weird to have her staring at me as I was him. But I just kind of let it pass and moved on. When we were done though, I asked him about it and I was like, so like what the is the T on that tattoo on your back? And he's like, oh, well, I got it when I was younger. It's my grandmother.
I knew he was going to say that.
To which I said, well, why the you have a hyper-realistic picture of your grandmother in a bikini? And he was like, it's from like this photo from her like at the lake when she was younger, and it was like happier times. And I just didn't realize that I was going to be a bottom at the time. And I was like, yeah, but did you realize that you're going to come across as like the type of psychopath that has a photo of your grandmother tattooed to your back? Am I the for thinking he like absolutely needs to get that removed? Or no, that's weird, right?
No, you're an I'm sorry. But also he was weird for telling you the grandmother story.
Yeah, I think there's layers to this story.
Yeah.
I think our caller is the here, and I think the person they were needs to have a conversation with themselves about this tattoo, because this can't be the first time this has happened. And it's one of those things, it's like, me once, shame on me. Me twice, you're doing it on purpose. You know what I mean?
They need to have the real story and then the story. You know, it's like, oh, it's some Betty Page, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Here's why you're not an I love a femi lispy top. Like, I love defying gravity. I'm this twinky little bottom.
I'm flipping them over like doggy
style. I flipped them over so
I
I could get them doggy style. I say to you, I love you, but you are
I thought he was going to say, like, it's my grandmother and she never had sex. So when guys are me, she's in heaven getting too or something like that.
I think this is a larger conversation, right? Because it's like, how are you going to navigate the situation when it happens again in a way that you feel good about? Or would you rather not have this be a problem that you have to talk about? Move the tattoo, have it removed and then put over here.
Well, keep your
just
shirt
do
on.
a graft. I have been thinking about getting a joke tattooed above my
Don't do it.
for so long.
Don't you dare do it.
And then I'm like, do I really want to bring comedy?
Don't you dare
there?
do it. Don't you dare
I want
do
to
it.
get Abandon All Hope You in here. But if I have it written in Latin and
Don't do it, Jackie.
just like above the gates of hell.
Don't do it, Jackie. Or like, beware of dog. Or something. If you want to figure out if you're an please give us a call at 510. And now, a word from our sponsor. Can I tell you something? Just between you and my log. I once faked a power outage to get out of a hookup. I texted him, sorry, the whole block is out. All the lights were on in my apartment. I could see him look up. I panicked. It happens. But you know what doesn't have to happen? That other kind of panic. The will everything work panic. That's what WoodWork is for. Online assessment. Clinicians who get it. ED meds shipped right to your door. Discreet, easy, no lying about a power outage required. WoodWork, for when the moment actually hits and you're actually into it. Results may vary based on an individual's specific health status. Medication prescriptions are provided by licensed medical providers upon their determination of medical appropriateness and necessity and may not be suitable for everyone. Individuals should consult a healthcare professional before using or starting any erectile dysfunction prescription medications. WoodWork. One day, the softness will end. And we're back. Okay. Welcome back, Jinkx. We're going to play a little game called Are We
Yeah.
Now we've judged and analyzed certain behaviors of other people. Let's talk about us. Are you or have you been on the grid, the Grindr grid? Yes.
I have been. And I was like I want to say maybe 15 years. I'm trying to think of like
Christ.
right out of college, there was Grindr ready to show me everything. And then I continued being on Grindr really until
3 days ago.
Until my facial feminization surgery. I took a little break because I was all laid up. And then I was like, I'm still trying to get in touch with who I am when it's not about my career and not about a partnership. Okay. Like, who am I without any qualifiers? Yeah. So, but I'm also so I'm also like still, I'm out there. I gotta say, I'm on tour right now. And do I miss just leaving that trail across
snail trailing across the globe?
Across the globe. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course I miss killing a couple hours by ducking out. Like, I'm just gonna go run an errand.
Okay. From your experience on the grid, can you share one of your worst and best hookup experiences?
Oh. Best hookup experiences, like, I have made some really good friends, and we still
Great.
And we're also genuinely good friends.
That's lovely.
Because we met first for a hookup, and then they stuck around, and it was like, oh, I like you. That's always a wonderful surprise.
Really beautiful.
And so I have some really good friends that started out as like, we might meet once and have some fun, and then we just liked each other too much, and now we're in each other's lives.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the things I miss the most about not being on the grid is like, you can't have those experiences if you're not rolling the dice, But
what about the worst, or one of the worst?
One of the worst that I feel comfortable sharing. One time a guy was meeting me at my hotel for a hookup. And then as he was parking his car, a trio of other Drag Race girls who were on the same tour as me were leaving to go to a gay club. And he recognized them and said, "Are you going to blah, blah, blah?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're waiting on an Uber." And he said, "Ubers will take forever. I'm a friend of Jinkx's. Can I give you a ride?" And they were like, "Oh, cool. Yeah." And I sat around waiting. And then I saw pictures of the girls out with him at the bar. And I was like, what the just happened? And he never texted me back until the end of the night. And then he explained what happened. And I was like, yeah, so the girls already told me that happened. And you. Because if you ever were wondering if they were just sleeping with you for adjacency to something or other.
Now you got full confirmation.
And that was a little eye-opening. Did it stop me from sleeping around for the rest of the tour? No. Yeah. I just get better at vetting people.
Yeah. The chasers are hard. Sometimes they're a hard bunch to weed out.
And the big thing is sometimes I don't care.
Well, if they can get hard, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes I don't, is it going to be weird that I've, seen you on TV?
No.
I'm is it weird for you?
Is it weird to Tom
there's
Cruise?
Plenty of people I want to who I've seen on TV.
I would Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. I see that for you.
Have you ever dated an
Yeah.
In 3 words, describe the nature of that person's
Controlling. Belittling. And arrogant.
What about your worst breakup?
Oh, I don't know. I always try to see the silver lining in everything. I will say, when I was really young, fresh out of college, I cheated on a boyfriend with a couple. And then me and that boyfriend broke up, and then that couple broke up. And then my ex dated one of them, and then they broke up, and then he dated the other one, and now they're married.
Oh, 3 wrongs make a right. Do you have any dating advice?
Don't. No. Yeah, I think my dating advice is we gotta just look each other in the eyes and have real conversations.
Yeah. Did you your hole?
But like real conversations. Yeah. Like there's an art to small talk. It's not all like sometimes you start with small talk to get to the big talk.
Sure.
And that's worth it, you know. But I'll tell you what's not small talk. Your body count, how much you weigh, your BMI. You know, that's like I'm sitting in front of you. Do you find me attractive or not? Like being queer for so long, dating has been, you know, like I've been really used to it. And now I'm going back to like the old fashioned way where something just sparks naturally and then over time it develops. Or someone asks me out on a date and I'm like, oh my, fiddle-dee-dee. I have to take up my dance card. It's full on Saturday.
Or somebody spills hot coffee on your cardigan in the bookstore.
The meet cute, right?
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking because I liked a lot of digital meeting people because you get to have those conversations and get some of that stuff out of the way. Yeah. And then when you meet, you're like, so I already know you do this. Tell me more about that, right?
Sure. So your Snatch Game performances on Drag Race are considered to be the best in Drag Race history. Little Edie, Judy Garland. When you're doing an impression that good, are you still in there somewhere or do you actually kind of lose your body for a while?
I would say that I'm still in there. And there have been times when I've lost my body for a while. But I don't recommend aiming for that. One of my favorite pieces of advice that a teacher gave me in college was, you should always be in there and you should always be in control for the safety of the other people on stage. Yeah. You should never be putting someone else in danger so that you can get your good performance, right?
Yeah.
And then I extend that into like the idea of method acting where you become that character. Like personally, I haven't heard of many female method actors, right? Yeah. It's normally a straight man and his character's normally an
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever heard of a method actor who like spent 9 months being really nice to everyone?
No.
No, it's usually like, oh yeah, he spent 9 months smoking and being an alcoholic
dragging
and beating
his knuckles
people
on the floor
and the
pants.
movie was amazing, so we forgive it. That you should be in control. Now, there have been times where I have felt in a trance. Like Carnegie Hall, I was in a trance. A friend told me you were just so focused on the output that you weren't really recording memories because there's whole blank spots of Carnegie Hall. And then there was one time in P-Town. You ever been? There was one time in P-Town, I was performing a Janis Joplin song, and in the middle of the live recording of this song, she gives an impromptu monologue that the band isn't even expecting. They kind of like stop playing because she just departs from the lyrics and starts giving a monologue and then gets back to the song. So I was performing that monologue and then I finished the song. And when I opened my eyes, I was like, whoa, where I thought I was outside. I'm in a basement. What happened?
Years.
So it's happened, but I don't recommend it.
So you've played Mama Morton, Audrey.
Yes, I have.
You played Mama Morton, Audrey, Ruth, Mary Todd, and now Judy Garland. What is the thread that unites these women?
Oh.
They're all dead?
Dead hooker number one. No, I figured this out for myself recently.
What is it?
What I really like doing is examining my female characters' relationship to their own agency and their relationship to power. So Mama Morton has a lot of power and a lot of agency, but she is also this like masculine character, and I like to see how those things are all intertwined, right?
Yeah.
And then I think of Ruth. She has zero agency, zero power, but she finds a way to kind of still be in charge by playing her role of zero agency really well. I don't know. And then we've got Mary Todd, who is like a bird in a cage. We can see that theme in old school marriages quite a bit. And then there's Audrey, who's like trying to survive with very limited agency, very limited resources. And so she has to lean into the things that like don't give her more agency, but at least give her protection and survival.
Does she get eaten in the end?
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, I gotta say there were nights, it wasn't every night, but there were nights I'd get fed to the plant and I'd get digested, right? And I'd come out the other end, but in stage terms. And I would be crying because I felt so bad for her. Because all she wanted was that love affair with Seymour. And then she gets it, and then she finds out he was lying to her too.
What a piece of
And then she, in this moment, is like, I never had a man that didn't lie to me. And then she sacrifices herself because she's like, well, at least if you put me in the plant, you can keep being successful. And she loved him that much that she's
Just like a man.
Because when I went to the first rehearsal, I said, I think she's angry in that moment. And they're like, you still got to find the love. She can be upset and disappointed, but she's so in love with Seymour that she finds a way to overcome it and sacrifice herself.
Jeez.
And that, I really wanted to tell her story as beautifully as I could, even though, I'm like, it was a very funny performance, but I wanted her death to still be something that meant something. And so there were nights where I was like, this poor woman just never got her day.
Yeah.
She wanted such simple things.
Right.
And then examining that was like so many trans people came up to me and said they've always related to the character of Audrey. And then I thought about who wrote the play, and I thought about the history of the play, and I'm like, what if Audrey was based on a trans woman? I always thought like it was going to be this outlandish idea, a trans woman playing the lead female character in a play. And it turns out, like, when you really think about it, it's not that crazy.
No.
It's just never been that crazy. They convinced us it was crazy.
Yeah. So Doctor Who,
Yeah.
what was that like?
Just like a dream job from start to finish. Everyone on that set. And then I got to fly, which was
So
one of my
fierce.
life ambitions. And so now I got to come up with new ambitions.
No, so to that point, I mean, you have, like, not to blow smoke up, but what other professional goals are there to
I really
strive
just
for?
want to keep doing a lot more of the same. I'm where I wanted to get in life, and I want to really enjoy it, And so I'm not in a rush to see what's next because things just keep coming in the way that makes sense, and one thing leads to the next, and I'm kind of just letting things take their own charge, But that said, I'm manifesting things as well. Like I'm having meetings with people about potential projects for down the road, and I'm wanting to manifest being me being the next Mame on Broadway. I want to do a revival of Mame. I want to be Mame. I want it all to be about chosen family. I want the script updated. I've got long-term goals, but they're all more camera work, more live entertainment that I create with friends, and more theater work.
What is the relationship between your solo work and, like, the collaborations you have?
Dayla and I have really wonderful careers separately, and we really celebrate each other's careers, and we come together and do this thing together every year. And I think the draw to the duo is we get to see two people celebrating each other versus what we're used to, which is feminine personas being pitted against each other, right? Yeah. Whether you're a pop star, an actress, if you're blonde and she's blonde, you hate her, right?
Exactly.
I think it's even that with you and Trixie, like you're both blonde, right? Like, you know what I mean?
And I hate her.
It's something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And you'd think that doesn't matter, but it mattered for a long time. Women did not get cast. That's why Lucille Ball was a redhead.
Yeah.
Because there were too many blondes, right? That's how feminine personas in the public eye have always been treated. And as queer people, we're not necessarily, you're not a full-time femme-presenting person, right? Mm-hmm. You still have relationship to your masculine identity, I'm assuming. And, right, when you classify yourself as a drag queen, you're taking on a lot of that that gets put on feminine personalities. Dayla experiences it, and I experience it now in totally new ways as a trans woman. And so I'm watching things that I've only experienced in drag be applied to my daily life all of a sudden, like what I'm wearing and how my hair looks. And I'm like, I used to get time to just look like a, and now it's like
24/7 pressure.
Yeah, and I knew I'd be getting into that, but you got to be self-aware of the game you're about to play so that you can change the rules. I think of the women who have been changing the rules over the years, and they played the game until they made the game.
Yeah.
That's
fierce. Would you rather be drowned in the Pacific Ocean or burned alive at the stake?
Burned alive at the stake. At least I'd be going down like my foremothers did.
Any particular city or town?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Keep it real. What would you be wearing?
Balenciaga! That was a good palate cleanser.
Oh, so you're returning to Oh Mary. What's it like to go back to a role that you've already done? Is this your first time resuming a role?
No, this will be... I've gone back to Mama Morton after about a year.
Really? Okay.
And I went back to Hedwig in Seattle. I did Hedwig once right when my season started airing, and then again after winning. And every time I've returned to a role, what's been very exciting is there's still stuff to find.
Yeah.
But you've got to be in an environment where you're working with other actors who want to keep finding stuff.
Sure.
Right? Like when your scene partners are checked out, it's so hard to keep finding the new stuff. If you're on Broadway, you're probably not checked out.
Right.
Like those are the most present actors I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
Working on camera is different because, everyone's going to get their shot. Kumail and I talked about this. Like, you might not even be working with the person, right? You're playing off a stand-in or off of something else based on the circumstances of the thing. So when I did Doctor Who, the way that Nchuti and Millie and I worked was very much like we did every take, all of us together, full-out acting every time.
Wow.
Because that's all I know how to do.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're such a generous scene partner. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm just doing what actors do, right? But I'm realizing that, sometimes it's not sustainable to maintain a character when the cameras aren't on you, right? And so I was exhausted by the end of the day. And I'm like, I can see why some people, I need a break.
Yeah.
But when you're doing the work with other people and both people are checked in, it never gets boring.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a podcast where one actress was talking about working on this big budget movie that involved her co-star having a lot of prosthetics. And she's like, oh, I never had scene with him.
Yeah.
Every scene you see with his back turned, every scene that he is not front facing, he's not there. So it's like, I don't know what it was like working with him.
But I think as drag queens, we're especially apt for this. We've always been simultaneously, like when I get up my own about our art form, compare it to Commedia dell'arte, because that's the closest other thing I've studied that I can compare it to. You're simultaneously you, and you're this hyper-realized version of you. You're in there, right? But you're also, the second the wig and heel and blah, 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 you're going to start doing specifically Katya things, right? So we've already walked that line. And I think that's why we're willing to keep working that way, even in industries where they're not used to someone being that excited about their work.
I heard a clip from Madonna. It was like, it's an amazing job, but sometimes you don't want to do it, but there's 20,000 people outside and they're screaming your name. And
that aspect of it is really, really easy when you believe in the work you're doing, you know? Like the Jinkx and Dale holiday show is something we really believe in creating, and the audiences we attract come back year after year. It's not just doing it for 20,000 fans, it's doing it for the people who have showed up for me time and time again. I always felt so stupid when people are like, your work means so much to me and you're an inspiration. I'm like, I don't want to be an inspiration. I'm not a role model.
Yeah, I'm talking about pee-pee and poo-poo.
All I'm ever doing is what I think works for me, but it's not about joke. It's about going and being in an audience full of people who feel the same way as you and realizing I don't care what the news is telling me about our community. This is the proof that we're actually a strong community and we show up for one another. Even to hear jokes.
One last thing before we wrap up.
Oh, I don't want to wrap up. I want to keep talking. I'm on prep, so we don't have to wrap up.
Have you ever encountered a penis so large that even your throat goat skills wouldn't rise to the challenge?
Yeah, of course.
What do you do? What do you just say?
I give it the coach try. I actually, yes, I've had some large penises
And how
in
can
my
you
life.
how?
They know what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
And here's the thing. If you're having trouble with their large penis, likelihood is, they've encountered this issue before. But if you just have the conversation, and I had this guy, we tried so many times, and I was like, it's not going to work. It's not physically, anatomically working.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, just hold on 1 second. And then it was like, really just incredible, right? But in college, I did hook up with an adult film actor with such a large penis that I was like intimidated by it. And I think about it and I'm like, I wish I had given it a try. I did go down on him, but I was intimidated by the idea of for it.
You know how difficult fissures can be to...
I've been pretty blessed in my bottom career. But I gotta say, I am a huge but I'm like a vanilla.
I am
the thing I've done is I went to one hotel sex party once and I participated some and I had a good time and no one said a thing about anything drag or anything. And then I got to the elevator and one of the guys I had participated with said, "Water off duck's back." And I was like, and there's the last sex party if I've ever going to. But he didn't do anything wrong in that moment because he didn't bring it up during sex, right?
Yeah.
And it was a sex party, right? Like, there was a bunch of people there. I'm sure other people recognized me. And I don't care. It was just the moment of like, I might not ever get to experience certain things anonymously, and I'm okay with that. It's an okay exchange.
We just did a gig in Louisville, and
Louisville Slugger?
the volleyball team came.
and you were the volleyball.
No, later that night, they wanted me to be the volleyball.
There is a part of me that would love to have all those men want their turn with me and be worshipped like a goddess. And I wouldn't want to be like one of their sex dolls, like, you are here to service us. I want to be treated respectfully, right? And that doesn't mean we can't get a little verbally in each other's face, but I'm not there to just be treated like a sock that you're passing around. More so like a shrine you're all paying homage to, right? That's my idea of a good...
Lots of coins, lots of flowers.
This is why I'm saying I would never film it, but if I ever had it would probably be all professional adult actors.
Okay. They would know how to do crowd control.
And they're like, we need a rehearsal stand-in.
We're going to run through this really quick.
We're going to run through this once before on the day, but the star isn't available. Can you be the rehearsal stand-in? I will do that.
That's a great thing.
Because what I've heard is, like, in a lot of the scenes, the woman chooses all the men and the woman is in charge. And even if it looks like
she's getting degraded and
I'm not saying this is across the board in all videos, right? I just have a lot of friends who work in the adult and I know that there are, just like any job, there are toxic environments and there are really great environments.
Also, I believe they tend to get paid much more than their male scene partners.
It's just like our community. There are the highs and the lows and the goods and the bads, but it's not all one thing.
It's a loaded issue.
I get it.
Loaded. Okay, well, I think that's it.
I love being on a podcast where we can end with loaded on, loaded with. I can do that now.
Fun fact, I haven't in forever.
Well, I haven't either, but it's for different reasons. Not for lack of trying.
Well, Jinkx Monsoon, thank you so much for being our first guest. Where can people find you online?
Google me. I don't know. All the places, all the ways. It's like...
Is it at the Jinkx
Yeah, here's all you need to know. Okay. It's Jinkx. Mm-hmm. Dayla loves to tease me for that. When I invented that at 15 years of age, I thought that was cool.
I know a person named Precious Valentine.
I thought it was cool. I thought adding the K made it look more like a name and less like,
Well, it also is
the love spell.
Is unique and searchable.
Right. So it's Jinkx. Thank you for getting me back on topic. Mm-hmm. Woof. And
you over her.
Then there is no other Jinkx with a K, so you'll probably find me just by Googling that. If Google's even...
No, that's still there.
Okay, and, but you can go to JinkxMonsoon.com and that will take you everywhere.
There you go.
Especially people who want me to work with them. It's like, don't come to me with work offers in my Instagram inbox. I'm sorry. It's just like, if you're doing that, I fear you don't.
Yeah, you might not be legit.
You seriously. Yeah. It's a different thing when like another celebrity comes in and goes, "Would you like to do this?" Mm. Because that's normally the producer saying they might want to do it if they say, you're blah, 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 blah. But like when a producer comes to me in my Instagram inbox, I'm like,
no, ma'am.
I'm pretty sure producers know how to get a hold of my agents. You know,
that's their whole job.
It's a red flag.
Yeah. Any last words?
Oh, so many I want to say, but I'll just say live, laugh, love.